Welcome to the world of high-revving, race-bred fury, where 600cc motorcycles aren't just machines, they're legends. Today, we're diving deep into the top 5 most powerful 600cc bikes ever created. These aren't your average sport bikes. These are precision-tuned, track-dominating beasts that push the limits of what a middleweight motorcycle could be. Each one earned its place in the Hall of Fame, not just with horsepower, but with legacy, engineering, and sheer thrill factor. And we begin with perhaps the most iconic of them all, the Yamaha YZF-R6. When it comes to 600cc supersport bikes, no name carries as much weight as the Yamaha YZF-R6. This bike didn't just win races, it built reputations, launched careers, and carved itself into the DNA of sport bike culture. If you've ever stepped onto a racetrack, chances are you've seen or heard an R6 flying past at full throttle. And that sound? It's unmistakable. A piercing, high-pitched scream that starts in the pit of your stomach and climbs all the way up to a searing 16,500 RPM. Yes, 16,500 RPM. That's not just impressive, that's insane. The 2006 model year redefined what a 600cc motorcycle could be. Its 599 cubic centimeter inline-4 engine made roughly 124 horsepower with the help of ram air intake, placing it at the top of its class for peak power. But what really set the R6 apart wasn't just how much power it made, it was how and where it made it. This engine didn't come alive until you were well into the upper rev range. Below 8,000 RPM, it's civilized. Past 10,000, it's angry. And beyond 14,000, it's a symphony of fury and precision. But speed alone doesn't make a legend. The chassis was a revelation. Yamaha designed the R6 to be brutally sharp. Its aluminum delta box frame delivered rigidity and responsiveness with minimal weight. It handled like a scalpel, fast, twitchy, but always controllable. The suspension was fully adjustable, the ergonomics aggressive, and the feel through the bars and pegs unmatched. It didn't just go fast, it made you work for it. And in doing so, it made you a better rider. The R6 also brought MotoGP styling to the street. With its low, angular fairings, tucked-in tail, and dual projector headlights, it looked like it belonged on a grid next to Rossi and Lorenzo. Over the years, Yamaha refined the design, eventually introducing ride-by-wire throttle, traction control, and even quick shifters in later models. Yet even in its early forms, the R6 was ahead of its time, both visually and mechanically. Track riders and racers worshipped it. The R6 became the go-to choice in national Supersports series, club racing, and track days across the world. You couldn't line up on a starting grid without seeing a sea of R6s ready to launch. And for good reason, its consistency, durability, and out-of-the-box competitiveness made it nearly unbeatable. Even as rivals evolved, the R6 remained the gold standard. Sadly, the R6 met a major turning point in 2020. Stricter Euro 5 emissions regulations meant Yamaha had to pull the plug on the street-legal version. But instead of letting it fade away, they doubled down. The R6 returned reborn as a track-only machine. The R6 race. No lights, no mirrors, no compromises. Just pure performance, built for those who want nothing but speed. Even in a world where 1,000cc superbikes grab the spotlight, the R6 still commands respect. Because it's more than just numbers on a spec sheet, it's the way it makes you feel, the way it demands precision, punishes laziness, and rewards bravery. It's a motorcycle that dares you to push harder, lean further, and hold throttle longer than you ever thought possible. And that's why, nearly 2 decades after its peak, the Yamaha R6 still sits on the throne, not just as one of the most powerful 600cc bikes ever created, but as one of the greatest sport bikes of all time. Now we turn from Japanese precision to Italian passion. Meet the MV Agusta F3675, a masterpiece of design and engineering that might technically stretch past the 600cc limit, but deserves a seat at this table. With 675 cubic centimeters of displacement and 128 horsepower on tap, the F3 isn't just powerful, it's sensational. This bike is exotic in every sense of the word. From the moment you lay eyes on it, you know it's something special. The lines are sculpted, flowing, unmistakably Italian. The triple exhaust pipes, the aerodynamic fairings, the minimalist tail, it's a work of art on wheels. But beauty is only the beginning. At the core is a high-revving inline-3 engine, offering the best of both worlds: the smooth, top-end scream of a four-cylinder and the low-end torque of a twin. The F3's power delivery is broad, punchy, and incredibly responsive. With a red line over 14,000 RPM and razor-sharp throttle control thanks to its ride-by-wire system, this engine is made for serious riding. Handling is another area where the F3 shines. The bike features a compact steel trellis frame mated to aluminum side plates, creating a chassis that's both stiff and forgiving. It's agile, light, and eager to turn. Electronic rider aids include multiple engine maps, adjustable traction control, a quick shifter, and even launch control on later models. This isn't just a fast motorcycle, it's a highly intelligent one. What makes the F3 even more exciting is that it's not trying to be a copy of its Japanese rivals. It's its own thing. It's raw, visceral, and sometimes even a little unpredictable. But that's part of the charm. It forces you to engage, to connect, to ride with intent. It may not have dominated global racing like the R6, but the MV Agusta F3675 holds a different crown as the most exotic, emotionally charged, and character-rich machine in the 600 class. For those who crave soul and speed in equal measure, nothing else comes close. Next, we've got the rule breaker, the street assassin, the one that dared to color outside the lines. This is the Kawasaki Ninja ZX 6R, specifically, the 636. And that extra 37 cubic centimeters, it makes a big difference. When Kawasaki reintroduced the 636 platform, it wasn't trying to win technical compliance points. It was trying to build the most usable, flexible, and fast supersport on the planet. And it nailed it. The 636 engine delivers a stunning 128 horsepower, but more importantly, it produces usable torque down low, something most 600s severely lack. You get strong mid-range grunt, incredible top-end pull, and a very linear power band that makes the bike feel alive no matter where you are in the rev range. Whether you're blasting down a back road, commuting in traffic, or railing a racetrack, the 636 just works. The chassis is everything you'd expect from Kawasaki: lightweight, responsive, and confidence-inspiring. With Showa big piston forks, radial brakes, and an aluminum twin-spar frame, it feels planted and flickable. The handling is sharp but never twitchy, stable but never dull. And let's talk features. Kawasaki loaded the 636 with rider aids, multiple power modes, traction control, optional ABS, and a factory quick shifter. These aren't gimmicks, they're tools that make you faster and safer. Design-wise, it's aggressive, angular, and unmistakably ninja. It looks fast, feels fast, and sounds brutal when opened up. It's a bike that takes the 600cc formula and tweaks it just enough to make it more versatile, more street-friendly, without sacrificing the thrills. For riders who want a super sport that doesn't punish you for not living on a racetrack, the ZX6R 636 is arguably the best middleweight ever made. It bends the rules, and in doing so, it might have perfected the class. Now let's talk about Honda. If the R6 is the wild child and the ZX6R is the rebel, the CBR 600RR is the perfectionist. This is a bike built with surgical precision, engineered to do everything well and nothing poorly. Introduced in 2003 and significantly updated in 2007, the CBR 600RR quickly became one of the most balanced motorcycles ever built. Its 599 cubic centimeter inline four produces around 118 horsepower, slightly less than its rivals on paper. But don't let that fool you. In the real world, the delivery is so smooth, so predictable, that it actually makes you faster. The engine revs cleanly and willingly, with seamless throttle response and virtually no surprises. The chassis is where the CBR shines. It feels like an extension of your body, flickable, planted, and forgiving. It excels in both aggressive track riding and spirited canyon carving. Honda's attention to detail is second to none. Suspension is fully adjustable, brakes are crisp and consistent, and the ergonomics walk that perfect line between sporty and usable. Later models introduced advanced electronics, including a quick shifter, traction control, and even aerodynamic winglets, making it one of the most modern 600s on sale. And unlike most competitors, Honda actually brought the CBR 600RR back to the market in recent years, updated and ready to fight again. It may not scream the loudest or post the biggest dyno numbers, but the CBR 600RR remains the standard for refinement. For riders who value total control, seamless feedback, and perfect balance, this is your machine. Last but absolutely not least, we have the Suzuki GSX-R 600, a bike that's often underrated but never outgunned. Don't let its subtle evolution fool you. This machine is a scalpel in the right hands, and it's been slicing up racetracks for over a decade. Suzuki kept things simple and effective. The 599 cubic centimeter engine produces about 124 horsepower and delivers power in a smooth, usable curve. It doesn't have a big hit of torque or a dramatic rush at redline instead. It gives you a consistent surge across the rev range. That predictability is exactly why racers love it. The GSX-R 600 is also one of the lightest bikes in its class, which means it handles with incredible agility. The chassis is stiff, the suspension dialed in, and the brakes, thanks to Brembo calipers, offer serious stopping power. The Showa big piston forks absorb bumps with grace while keeping you connected to the road or track. While it doesn't have as many rider aids as newer bikes, the Gixxer's charm lies in its mechanical purity. It's direct, raw, honest, and that's what makes it such a brilliant training tool for track riders and racers. Design-wise, it sticks to the Gixxer formula: bold, aggressive, and unmistakably Suzuki. It may not change every year, but it doesn't need to. The GSX R600 found its sweet spot early and stayed there. For those who want a 600 that feels intuitive, forgiving, and fast with a race-ready chassis and bulletproof reliability, the GSX R600 is a legend in its own right. So there you have it, the 5 most powerful and iconic 600cc motorcycles ever built. Each one offers a different flavor of speed, precision, and adrenaline. Whether you prefer the howling red line of an R6, the exotic soul of an MV Agusta, or the street-shredding torque of a 636, one thing's clear: the 600cc class is far from dead. Which one would you choose? Let us know in the comments, and if you enjoyed this deep dive, make sure to subscribe for more high-performance motorcycle content. Until next time, ride safe, ride smart, and keep chasing that red line.